Our communities are connected. Businesses, people, and organizations all sharing a common goal to create the best place to live and work possible. Everyone has a story to tell about their businesses and the place they call home. We're here to tell your story. This is Your Network, powered by D&B Communications. Today we'll speak with Koraleski Greenhouse and Flowers.
My name is Brian Koraleski. I'm a third-generation grower here at Koraleski Greenhouse in Petersburg, Michigan. Owner and operator of Koraleski's Flower Center with two locations, one in Monroe, one in Lambertville. How did I get here? Well, we all grew up here on the farm, born and raised. It's been an evolution. Started around 1938. My grandfather started the farm here. We were produce, grain farmers. Quickly evolved into some smaller greenhouses, just out of necessity for growing our own plants for the field. And in the early 80s, we started transitioning into more and more greenhouse, which took up more and more time, and before you know it, we're out of basically field farming, and we now currently have, I believe it's about 8 acres under plastic now. So it's been a ride. It's a family affair. Lot of hands in the till here, or in the mix doing the work. So. Buy a greenhouse? Well, yes, like I said, my grandfather started several small greenhouses just out of necessity for the field, and my dad saw the real growth potential in greenhouse. In the early 80s, we started adding a lot of structure, and it just kind of grew from there. And now we do, well, what you see behind me, this is the flower end of what we do. On the other end, we do a lot of contract vegetable plants for a lot of brands you might have heard. Heinz, Hunt's, Herzl's, another great local family down in Ohio. Red Gold. It's just it's an evolution that it's a fun ride. Ends up being some long days, but in the end, you turn around and say, wow, we really got a lot accomplished today, and not really sure how we would do any more in a day's time, but next year that day comes around and I'll be darned we can do more. Why Petersburg? Well, grew up here, obviously. So the natural thing to do was just expand here. You're not going to find a better atmosphere than a small town. We have, I would say, some of the best people you can imagine. Within 10 miles of Petersburg, you have Ida, Dundee, Deerfield, and they're all the same. They're all that small community, extended family type communities that when somebody needs help, they drop what they're doing and they come and help. Or we trade equipment around if they're not using it, or I just wouldn't trade this kind of an area for anywhere else, I don't think. To me, it's the game. It's we've all played Monopoly. Some are better than others. It's the excitement of finding new, better ways to do something, covering more ground, being more cost efficient. Just the winning the game of the business world means 100% of your time You know, you just can't shut it off. So that's how my mind kind of propels through. I really rather be really busy than going to work for 4 hours a day or 6 hours a day. I just couldn't do that. I'd rather be working hard or playing hard, you know, so. The hardest part, I would say, is when the variables that you can't control pounce on your head. So our business, the weather, you know, maybe it's policy out there that we weren't looking at as far as tax structure, or you know, things that are beyond your control. Things break all the time. There's a lot of equipment around here. You know, everybody starts out with a plan, but you got to have B, C, D, and E to back that up when things break or your plan changes. So. Again, like I said, I really wouldn't want to be around. I wouldn't want to miss out on the people that are in this area. I guess just a quick example. I think it was 21 years ago now. On St. Patrick's Day, we had a major fire here. It took out the heartbeat of our operation right here. It was pretty incredible. At the worst time of the year, we were loaded with plants. We were ready to start shipping, and it just devastated the entire property. We have a lot of neighbors that are also in the greenhouse industry that were obviously busy at that same time. They literally dropped what they were doing and came over here and helped us button the greenhouse back up and be able to continue. Some great companies here, you know, Garst LP Gas, they were one of the first ones here to set up portable tanks. You know, the Levens brothers, Dussault's Greenhouse, all the Iats, Thompson's Plumbing and Heating, everybody was here. And when you go through that kind of thing, you as a family, you are useless that day. You're walking around in a fog. You can't believe what just happened. And you know, thank God they were there. They knew exactly what to do. Everybody split up. They grabbed what they needed to be done, or what they knew needed to be done, and they kept us rolling and helped us through the next month. You know, and that says nothing about all the fire departments that showed up, which ironically at the time I was on the fire department, and I wasn't even much help at my own fire, so kind of comical. But you know, you go through something like that, it really makes you understand what extended family means to me, you know, which everyone you've seen or anyone that works for us is in that category. It's just a day, it's kind of odd. It's a day that I never want to see again, but I hope I do see it again in better circumstances. You know, that many people coming together, doing what needs to be done, and they put their lives on hold. So just can't say enough about those people that helped us that day. Well, technology and us are starting to merge. We're I guess you could say I might be starting to be part of the new school. We've got a lot of old school around here, which is great because that's where, you know, those real growing tips, the growing family secrets get passed down through. Well, when you introduce technology, sometimes it doesn't come across well. We've got new sensors out here that my dad would look at and go, what's that for? Hang on, we'll show you. It's coming. Technology for us in here would be, now we're starting to get the ability to put sensors out here where we'll monitor heat, humidity, temperature, power outages, things like that overnight are important. You're sleeping, you don't know what's going on, so a lot of these sensors are going to start giving us the ability to sleep a little better at night and know exactly what zone on this property is giving us a problem, and so we can go right to it. For the retails, that's a fast-paced world. Your cell phone is glued to your hand and your ear all day long because maybe we don't have a list that we're putting in to get loaded for one of the retails, but I can do a quick text and they know what I mean. We have our own language around here. And we can get the job done fast that way, where before that the old flip phones or the bag phones, anybody remembers a bag phone, those were interesting. Or the rotary phone, we could go back to that, but no, it's something we're grappling with. We're starting to use in a positive way. It's not so scary anymore to a bunch of farmers, and I think it's going to integrate around here really well. We just got to wrap our head around more of it and allow it to work for us instead of us be a slave to everything out here. So I'm excited. We're getting there. We're just farmers. It takes us a little while. The future, I would say, as more family becomes part of the business, I think we'll keep expanding. I think the demand out there, both on the vegetable end and on the flower end, is growing. No pun intended, but I think we're going to continue to expand. I'd like to see another flower center or two. How we get from here to there, I'm not exactly sure yet, but we're working on that. We're trying to get, I guess what I like about the way we do things is that when you get any of these flats at our garden center, we're the only ones that have touched it. Whereas the trade-off on any of the bigger stores, box stores, there's a lot of hands that's touched it. You don't know what has been sprayed on it. They really don't have the love that goes into what we do as a part of their product. So that's one thing we can boast with our direct market to our flower centers, is that we seed it, we plant it, we grow it, we bring it to you, and we do our darndest to give the biggest selection and best quality we can possibly do. I guess what I would like everybody to remember about us and continue to know is that you see it. We work as hard as we can on a daily basis to bring you the best quality, biggest selection we can. If a gardener or another customer were to have a problem, we're going to try and get down to what happened and replace it if we have to, but we're going to try and pass the education on to them so that they're not having the problems down the road. You take a hanging basket, for instance. They might buy one and it might rain the next day. Well, quite honestly, you just got to remember you do have to tend to that basket. It does need water. As the heat rises outside, it may need water twice a day, but the rain will not get in there and water like you think, because I guess maybe use the analogy, if it starts to rain, go stand under a tree. You really don't get that wet until it's an extended period of time. That's still what's going on in that basket. So most of these baskets will shed the water and they won't get watered. So we can teach that one thing to people, water in the morning, not at night, water in the morning. So that they're not sitting there dry through the hottest part of the day, and that's where all the damage occurs, and things. So we're just a family business trying to get you the best product we can give you, and we're always looking for better ideas and to get into more things. And I guess as we get suggestions, we'll keep working on that.